He'll let you see these things in order for you to grow. So you gotta know what you're doing as far as these things have to be intentional, and you have to be aware of the things that you do, like if I step out this room, I know where my attention and my energy is going to go, because that's all you are. You're a bundle of energy, you are energy. And when I walk out this room, I gotta know that, okay, I'm finna go to the crib. I'm gonna go cook me something to fuel my body, and that's intentional. And I'm gonna go, charge my computer back up, make sure my phone is charged for tomorrow, get things prepared for tomorrow. I'm gonna sweep up after I get done cleaning up. That is intentional. But unintentional is, okay, I'm finna just walk. You just get up and you just start moving. Now you just drifting on some shit without purpose. You drifting around like your plan was to go to bed, but now you up. You found your way on social media. Now you scrolling, doom scrolling and shit. And now you comparing yourself to people. Now you looking at what everybody else has, and you missing what you already have on some shit. Since now you missing a point. Now you fucked up. Now this is where you get fucked up at, because now you comparing yourself to people. Now you want to be like this person. Now you want to do this, do that, do this in the third, and God never intended for you to do this shit. Let them people do what the fuck they do, and you do what you do. You do what's making you happy. You do what's good for you, what's pouring back into you. You do that. You do what's pouring back into you. But now when you start trying to go do what everybody else do, that's where you fuck up at. And that's where all of a sudden you lost. And that's what like the devil want on some shit. That's what the devil want. So since that's like what the devil want, it's like you gotta actually realize, like, some of this stuff is not meant for you. Some of these things are meant to break you. Most of this shit is meant to break you, not build you. And once you realize that, you'll be better off that this is meant to break me. And then after you realize that this is meant to break me, okay, what I need to do to get myself out of this situation, who I need to talk to get myself out of this situation, what I need to leave, what do I need to let go to get myself out of this situation. You gotta start thinking like that. Then once you realize, it be the simplest shit. Most of the time, all you gotta do is walk away. Walking away is most of the problem. Walking away is half of the problem solved. That's most of the problem solved. Walking away is most of this problem solved. And then the rest of it is just get figured out as you go, because you walked away. Now you're able to think without that problem in your life. So now you like, okay, I could have did this better. Okay, so if I could have did this better, okay, let me do this better now. Now you see you building again on some shit because you walked away. Okay, I can go out, I ain't saying like you can't go back to this thing, but once you start building on some shit, you actually realize that this thing was the problem on some shit. This thing was the problem on some shit. So now you like, actually, once you build, you're gonna start to look at this as like, I really didn't need this, All I needed was some self-worth. All I needed was some confidence. All I needed was some light energy. All I needed was this, All I needed was myself, All I needed was some food, simple as shit as that. And now it's like, since you know this and since you witnessing these things, because you building reps, you getting consistent with this shit. Now I'm building. I'm saying no to this more. I'm saying no and more, and I'm refusing to give up. on myself. And that's what it is. Most of the time, you give up on yourself before you even get the chance. Don't give up on yourself. Now it's like you pouring energy back into yourself. I'm pouring energy back into myself by having this conversation. I'm building on some shit, bro. I feel like this shit can't be broke. Now it get to a point where it's like, okay, you don't even want to talk no more about it, because you done built up this, you done built yourself up to a point where you don't have to over explain. You don't have to overshare. You get to the point where you don't even have to beg. You don't have to get to the point of not having to constantly give in order to receive. You get to the point where you get to that point, and you get to the point where, this person, if you lose out on this opportunity, that you are the opportunity, and you can create another opportunity if needed. You're not desperate for nothing. You're not desperate. You're not thirsty. And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, let me just put some focus on me. Let me just pour back into myself for a minute. Let me see what my body needs. Let me see what my mind needs. Let me see what my heart needs in this moment. That's really all you have is this moment. Since you have only this moment, you have to be grateful. Be grateful for this moment, bro. That's all you can do. Be grateful for this moment that you're in. And you gotta know it's okay to just walk away from shit. Walk away. I promise you, walking away solve all of your problems. Matter of fact, walking away solve most of your problems. But I'm not saying run from your responsibilities on some shit. Walk away from your responsibilities. That's not what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Walk away from the bullshit. Walk away from the bullshit. Walk away from that bullshit so motherfucking proud and confident because you just don't know what you done got yourself out of on some shit. So you gotta be grateful that you walked away. You gotta be happy for that shit, bro. Matter of fact, celebrate after you walk away. You done walked away from some shit that you know was bad for you. You done walked away from a fucking person that was bad for you. You done walked away from some nasty ass food that was bad for you. Walk away from shit, bro. It's cool to walk away. The coolest shit that you can do is walk away. Let me tell you something. I walked away from some bullshit. Let me tell you this. Let me give you an example. And I'm gonna use myself as an example. There's some shit that I walked away from. Okay, so I walked away from some shit. So there's some bullshit going on. I walked up the stairs, boom, 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 boom. I walked up the stairs, open the door. I look to my left. I see some bullshit. So I'm looking at some bullshit, and I'm like, what the fuck? The bullshit calling my name. The bullshit call your fucking name. I swear to God, the bullshit will call your fucking name. And if you let that bullshit pull you into that, that's where you fuck up at. You can't let that bullshit control your next move. You can't let this bullshit make you react unconsciously, So you gotta actually take a second, think, analyze this situation. So I'm looking at this bullshit. I'm analyzing this situation. This bullshit is with some more bullshit. And bullshit makes bullshit. Bullshit plus bullshit makes bullshit. So you looking at this shit. you you like, damn, you like this looking at the bullshit like, what the fuck? You ain't never seen no bullshit like this. I'm looking at this bullshit like, what the fuck? Now look at this bullshit. Now I gotta make a decision what the fuck I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna play it? How I'm finna react to this? Am I finna let this bullshit pull me in? Or can I simply walk away from this bullshit and avoid drama? And can I walk away from this bullshit and continue to do good, instead of letting me this shit drag me into it. And now they delayed your purpose. They delayed the things that you need to do. You probably got some big shit going on tomorrow that you don't even fucking know about. But if you let this bullshit drag you into it, you won't be able to see the blessings that you'll have tomorrow. You won't be able to see the blessing that you have an hour later from that bullshit. So look, boom. I walk away from the bullshit. The bullshit came behind me. The bullshit following me on some shit. But this is where me walking away helps me out on some shit. This is where me walking away helped me out on some shit. I'm walking away from the bullshit. Okay, now I'm doing my thing again. The bullshit following me in. Now this bullshit catching other people's attention on some shit. And now that this bullshit made itself recognizable on some shit, since this bullshit made itself recognizable, I'm like, yeah, boom. Still get dragged, not dragged, let's switch this up. I didn't get dragged into the bullshit. But by me walking away, it's like shrinking that bullshit on some shit. I de-escalated the bullshit. Because I walked away from the bullshit, I de-escalated the bullshit in my life. That's what I did. I de-escalated the bullshit in my life. Now look, I ain't even gotta take care of this bullshit no more. Because this bullshit done took care of itself on some shit. You get what I'm saying? The bullshit took care of itself because I walked away. So if I would have never walked away, I would have had to handle the bullshit. But instead, I walked away and the bullshit handled itself. So now this bullshit can't even get to me because the bullshit handled itself. Now the bullshit got to deal with the consequences that the bullshit made. And now I deal with the consequences that I made. And I chose to walk away. So I chose another day to get a new blessing on some shit. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm coming from? I was able to keep going and enjoy myself. I was able to wake up again, wake up tomorrow without feeling guilt that I didn't let that bullshit get to me. Excuse me. But yes, I walked away from that bullshit, and me walking away from that bullshit de-escalated the whole situation, and I elevated off of that bullshit. Sometimes you gotta learn. Sometimes you gotta be able to discern bullshit, because if you're able to discern this problem, you'll be able to get out this shit, And yes, but bro, you gotta be able to weather this shit. You gotta be able to weather the storm. You gotta be able to leave things alone. You gotta be able to walk away. You have to be able to walk away, and if you're able to walk away, you'll win half of your battles. You'll win most of your battles. You'll win 90% of your battles. Knowing when to walk away. That's something that people don't really do nowadays. And they try to make it seem like the person that walked away is scared. The person that walked away ain't about shit. The person that walked away ain't on shit, But whole time, this person that walking away got more shit to lose than this person that's bullshitting, than this thing that's bullshitting. And sometimes you gotta actually see that. Sometimes you gotta actually ask yourself these things. What does this person have to lose that I don't? What does this person have to lose? Sometimes you gotta look at this person's situation. Sometimes you gotta look at this shit, and then you gotta look at the situation that you in, all the things that you achieved, all the things that you worked hard for. You gotta look at this shit and actually be like, damn, maybe This person right here, this shit right here, this bullshit ain't got shit to lose. So since this bullshit ain't got shit to lose, this shit don't mind bringing me down into some bullshit. Because this bullshit can also see that I have a lot to lose, you know, and you gotta be able to, okay, boom. No, no thank you. No thank you. I'm not finna give you my energy to do some bullshit with. That's what you gonna do. You gonna feed into that bullshit. Don't feed into that bullshit. The nigga, the coolest shit that you can do is walk the fuck away. I'm a cool ass nigga. You see, I'm a cool ass nigga cause I can admit that I walked away from some shit and that shit elevated me, you know, and that shit helped my situation out even more. And then you look back on some shit, you look at that bullshit that you was finna get into, be like, man, that bullshit and got into some more bullshit. You be like, man, the whole time, you weren't even a fucking problem. You was never the problem. This bullshit got some other bullshit going on. Now this bullshit wanna do with you, yeah, you know, do it with you. So, man, if that bullshit ain't get to you, you gotta walk away from that shit. But, you know, you gotta walk away from that shit, so that's it. But man, yeah, though, man, that bullshit, you gotta walk away from that shit. That's all I gotta say though, y'all. This shit this shit really go hard. This shit really go hard making this content shit. And you know, I barely do this shit also, so it's like I wanna be able to I wanna do content consistently. You know, I'd have been through the low points and shit, getting 200 views, 59 views, but I want to be on like a wider scale. You know, not even just a wider scale, but like on some community shit, really. And this is just something that I have to, you know, deal with. This is just something I have to pour some time into. Something that I have to get into deeply, you know, if I want to do something, and not be afraid to step out and actually, you know, have these conversations with people and with myself. But yeah, this shit align with me. This align with me. Make content align with me, because if I can get a message out that can help someone, I'll get that message out all fucking day. I'll deliver that message so many fucking times to somebody. I'll continue to deliver that message, you know? So, yeah, though, man. What I'm gonna say, like, alright, I'm gonna fuck with y'all, though, so I'm gonna fuck with y'all. This is it. This homie in my shit. I'm gonna fuck with y'all.